car.
I have my kids. I just picked them up from therapy.
Hello,
I'm going
everybody,
through a
and welcome
litigation
to
divorce,
Mariel
so I'm a
Talks
little.
Talk. This is your host, Mariel Baisari, and tonight I'm super excited to join here with the girls of I-5 20 years later. Hello, girls.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
How are you, girls? You look amazing.
Yeah,
Really good.
we're
You
so
look
good.
very good.
Mariel, we want to thank you because if it wasn't for you, we would not have been together. Like we have been trying to get together for 20 years, and this is the very first time that we do it. Isn't it true, girls?
It is.
It's very true.
Crazy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Been a long time. And I'm so glad.
It's
This is
my
awesome.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Gabby,
I
are
never
you wearing
thought I
the
would
shirt
get you all
too?
together. Oh, you're
No,
sure?
Oh my
girl.
gosh, you have it. I still have it. I gave it to my daughter. It's so small. I kept it.
I just see her tits.
I
That's
know.
all I see is tits. Always
No,
tits.
oh my God, you guys. Woo!
Andy looks frozen.
Andy keeps going in and out, which is gonna make her
Yeah.
so
Oh
mad.
no, Andy.
Watch, she's gonna FaceTime me in a second. I'll be like, girl, get it together. Her and technology. I told you. Technology and Andy. Me trying to explain FaceTime, not easy. Not easy.
Oh no. And girls,
There she
Mariel, can you check? One of us has feedback. It sounds like somebody. I think it's Kate. I think it has to be Kate.
That would be
Right.
great.
There's somebody with with feedback. Is your microphone? I think.
Yes, or it could be headphones. Oh, no one's wearing headphones.
No, I turned it all off. You're on the device now. This headphones is not working.
Kate,
Wow.
what's up with the headphones? I see you everywhere with that headphones.
Because I don't have a social media team like you, Tal. I gotta edit my own stuff.
Oh,
Girl,
hey,
don't
props,
you remember
props.
that was her when she was like 12? She was
Yeah.
always with the headphones, so nothing has changed.
Nothing.
Hip hop
All
shit.
the time.
Okay, girls. So,
Andy!
oh, there's Andy finally.
I'm
Mariel,
sorry. I'm so like technically challenged with all of this stuff, so I'm a bit like,
I got a question for you.
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Mariel, do you want us all to mute, and then we'll go off mute so that we don't have background and stuff, so that you don't have to worry about it, because it's gonna have feedback and stuff. So if you mute yourself, then what we'll do is when she asks us a question, we'll unmute ourselves and answer. That'll be easier, so that
Agreed.
we all aren't talking over each other, because that'll happen. That should happen.
Oh, yeah. With these girls, 45-foot bus. Can you imagine?
It was a lot.
Okay, so let me get started,
muted.
girls, because there's like a lot of questions from all the fans and me. So the first thing, and this is for Tal, how did I-5 begin? How was the audition process? Did you guys know each other before the audition or during the audition? How was the whole process?
Actually, I'm going to give it to you, Christina. You were the core.
Oh God.
I joined after the math.
Lord have mercy on our souls. I'm not Catholic, but I'll do this. We originally, yeah, you like that? We originally formed, so I answered an ad in Backstage West because I was a waitress / actress in LA. I started doing a little bit of stand-up out there. I did it for 2 seconds and said, can't do this. Yeah. And I love you, Jerry, for doing this because it's very hard and I understand it and I respect it because it's not easy. I love comedy, but I wanted to be an actress, but my roots were singing and I always wanted to be a singer, but I gave up that and was waiting tables and wanted to be a comedian in LA. So I answered this ad from some creepy dude. And it was called Women of the World. And he was nuts. And I showed up to a dance studio and I was the first girl there. And we won't say names because obviously we're trying to protect ourselves because he did try to sue us later, which we won. It was ridiculous, right? We spent a lot of money defending ourselves saying you were creepy, get out of our faces. But regardless, Women of the World, wow. And so we went and I was there. I sang to the guy. He's like, this is him. Great, you're the first girl in. I'm like, great. What does that mean? He goes, I've got 4 other women or 5 people coming today to audition. Can you choreograph a dance routine and audition these people? And I'm like, sure. I took off waiting tables today, so I have nowhere else to be. So I did a dance routine, apparently in 5 seconds. And then few people came in and they were horrific. And then this woman named Tal came in, this young girl, this big, like a beanpole, right? With this hair that was bouffant, curly Q hair and this just fun. I mean, she came in so vivacious. And when she opened her mouth to sing, that was it. It was over. Ended discussion. It was like, I was like, by the way, we'll just call him Tammy.
Oh my God.
We'll call him Tammy. And Tammy, I said, Tammy, this is our girl. And so that was Tal. And from that moment forward, we started auditioning people. And we kissed a lot of frogs. So I would say the next person was probably before Kate came in. It was Miley.
Yeah.
And then it was Andy. And Andy came in. Okay, so we were auditioning. And wait, what, Andy? You have to unmute yourself. Tal, mute yourself. I'm going to mute myself too because I think we both have feedback. Andy's frozen. She's having some technical difficulties at the moment. Well, I remember Andy walking in and auditioning because Andy, there you are.
Unmute yourself. I think yeah.
Her connection is so bad.
I can't hear you, and my love. All right, I'm going to take over for Andy because I can't hear her, but I can tell you this. She came in, and we knew it was women of the world. It was girls from all over the world. I was the American. Tal was from Israel, Yemen. She was from Israel. For us, it was like, you are Israeli to the bone. She came in, I mean, it was incredible. And Andy comes in, this cheeky, just saucy, sassy, came straight from Vegas, auditioned for this girl group, sang her little ass off with a musical theater number, and her dance routine was incredible. And again, it was about this lightning in a bottle. It was like, how do you bottle this up and how do you package this? Because no one put us together. We put each other together. You know, this guy had an idea, but he was creepy gross. And we were like, yeah, you're fucked. You're done. And then the crazy part about it all was then Gabby. We needed a girl from Mexico. We needed someone Spanish who was saucy, sexy, sassy, playmate all day long. And we went to robotics engineering. It was a dance thing you were doing, but we find out that she has a robotics engineering degree, and she was sneaking across the border. I mean, crazy shit. And Gabby is the most brilliant person I think I've ever met in my life, but will forget her passport and her laptop in a New York cab in 7 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you work the washing machine? We don't know, but she can solve a robotics arm and build one for you. So it was like the brilliant scientist, and she could dance incredibly. And her singing was on point, and she was stunning. And it was like, oh my God. And we looked hot. And after we had someone that was in the group prior to Kate, we literally were like, it wasn't right. It wasn't the right fit, even though we loved her. And we still to this day, I mean, I talked to Miley, she's wonderful. It was a great moment in our lives, but it wasn't right for the group. She was from Hawaii, but she kept talking about being from America. And I'm like, oh, I can't be from Ireland. Remember that, ladies? I'd be like, I can't pretend. I can't go, hey guys, how you doing? Let's go to Ireland. I couldn't fake that because I'm as white as they get. You know what I mean? Except I can dance like a sister. So that's how it ended. And we had a moment where Gabby met Kate and was able to bring Kate to us. And Kate came to my house, and I'll never forget it. And you sang in my house. And it was like, that's the group. And we had already gotten our...
It was at Studio City at Gabby and Tal's house.
Oh, it was Gabby's.
There was a dude. right? And
But at
what
that
else
point,
happened? Tal, you were there. Yeah.
but at that point, we already had a record deal. Because remember, she came in when we already had this. I don't know how much money that photo shoot was, but it was like something ridiculous, like ridiculous, right?
$50,000.
Yeah.
$50,000.
I remember.
Yes.
It was
So
Wait.
I had to take
What
off.
did
of
I
work.
miss?
How do you
What
know
did
this?
I
How do
miss?
you know this?
I remember that. That
Because you
was
ladies
so-
kept saying it over and over again. I don't forget anything. I have an elephant brain.
Yeah, we were like, here's why, because I'll never forget the person that was in the group prior had a boyfriend at the time, and we felt like he was a little controlling, kind of strange and kind of weird, and we were like, okay, he's really controlling, and he met with us at Baja Fresh on Ventura Boulevard, and where we were going to have to tell her that we have to, it was one of the hardest conversations to this date in my life.
It was
One
hard.
of the hardest conversations I've ever had with someone. It was really
I
difficult.
still feel bad about it.
I know. It was
I
bad.
love
It
you
was
very
great.
much, but I feel
It
bad.
was great, but it was bad, and she holds no hard feelings. She gets it. She understood
Wait,
it.
wait, wait, Andy. Did you say that you don't feel bad or you feel bad?
No, I did feel bad. I feel bad about everything. I feel bad about everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
I felt bad too. It was hard, but you know what?
Question, Christina, you should know, because here people is asking, was that the girl from Eden's Crush?
No, Eden's Crush. Eden's Crush was really our competition, and I can remember when they got
took our song.
no
they
Eden's
took our
Crush
song.
did. No, Eden's
No?
Crush did. Dream did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dream got the song that
Which
Kyle
one?
did. Dream.
Oh my God, Gabby.
Remember David Frank and them? They gave Dream because Puff Daddy had a
And
bigger.
Steve Kipner. David Friend and Steve Kipner.
Yeah, they gave them our song, and we got distracted. Our song, and we remember going, well, we really wanted Cinderella as our single, or La Di Di La Di Da, and I will never forget, ladies. I don't even know if you guys know this. I was at a MAC store at Beverly Center buying some makeup for myself, and Jeff Aldridge, our A&R rep, called me and said, you need to convince the ladies that Distracted is the single. And I was like, but we really want Cinderella. We really want La Di Di La Di Da. And he said,
Remember, we met with Disney. We went to a radio like in actual Disneyland, and they were like, "Please tell us that you're releasing Cinderella first, because we will absolutely support it." And so we were super psyched for that to be our first single. But
Do you guys remember the dinner? Sorry, Andy, to stop you. Do you remember the dinner that we had? And we asked him, what's plan B? What happened if Distracted is not going to go? And remember how pissed I was? Remember that? I was like, no, not Distracted. Let's do La Di Di, La Di Di, La Di Da.
yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
And then they said, don't worry, we got you. We have plan B. Remember
Yeah.
that?
well, it's crazy you mentioned that, Tal, too, because so Andy and I laughed about this recently. Do you remember when we were getting courted by all the big agents and William Morris, ICM, CAA? And you have to understand, I waited tables for 7 years prior to this. And I would wait on these effers. And I remember working at Kay Mentolini on wherever that was. I don't remember. I just know it's closed now. Okay. That's what happens. Karma is a bitch. And so I remember going and waiting tables on these agents that would say William Morris, CA, and I'd be like, oh my God, please, here's my tape, here's my this. They don't give a shit. We get together, we're 5 girls, lightning in a bottle, we look hot, we mark the spot, we go and we sing and do our little dance, and we Tommy Mottola's lap, remember that? Up in their penthouse, we sat on Tommy Mottola's lap in the Peninsula Hotel when we were going to try to find a record deal. Let's not also forget that we also went out to a club, and every time we went somewhere, we attracted attention, and we got Rodney Jerkins, big, fat Rodney Jerkins at the time, and he had his guy come up to us and be, what's up with you guys? Who are you? We're like, we're a pop group. Our name is, it was I-5 at this point. We had identified that we'd be International 5. And then we go to we go and pick up Tal, and Andy said it yesterday, Mustache Cafe.
You were working at Mustache Cafe, and I'm like, let's go get Tal. Let's get her.
Oh my God, yes.
She's got to meet Rodney Jerkins. She's like, he's got to meet her. Rather, not us meeting Rodney Jerkins. It was Rodney
I
Jerkins
recently worked with him.
Tal.
I recently worked with him too. I worked with a lot of
guys, remember that at one point? Remember that at one point we were working with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Oh my God, one of my
Oh my
biggest.
God, yes, Gabby.
Yeah, and it was Playtone Records. They offered us a record deal, and we said no. We got a record deal offer, our first record deal, ladies. Who was it with? Do you remember? Randy Jackson.
It was Maverick.
Randy
You
Jackson.
guys forgot that I had to go out with Guy Uzeri for Maverick.
Yes.
You guys hold me out, man. Do you remember that?
We
I went
pimped
with
you
him.
out.
Wait. Then
You loved it.
I had to
You
go
loved
out
it.
with another guy. I had to go with a producer from Sweden that I saw a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I was
That's what
hanging out.
happens. That's what happened.
Don't worry.
He needed you to show up, do your thing. You know what I'm
Take it to
saying?
the team.
Right? I was with Doug. You had to like do your thing. And
I couldn't
okay,
seal the deal. I couldn't.
our first record deal, Mariel, our first record deal was an offer by the now famous Randy Jackson. He offered us Universal.
Oh my God. Christina, do you remember what you said to him?
What?
We were sat at the conference table, and behind Christina was the poster for the pop group Aqua. I'm a Barbie girl in a
Oh, I didn't go to that
Christina
meeting.
didn't see it. Christina did not see it. It was behind her back, right? And we're sitting at this like massive table, like this conference table with Randy Jackson, And he says, well, girls, I don't know if you got the chops. I'm gonna give you we'll do a single. We'll do a deal.
It's in the deal. Yeah.
And Christina was like, F that. She's like, we don't want to be like, we're not some cheesy single deal. Like, I'm a Barbie girl. And we're all like looking at her. She doesn't see the poster behind her. And we're all just like, shut up.
Yeah. That's something that I still do, which is called put my foot straight down the thigh hole. It's gotten me this far. So how crazy. But that is truly when Kate joined. And we went through the hardship of removing, disbanding with Miley, which was hard. And we still, again, it was the right decision for the group. Very difficult, a lot of tears, a lot of stress. But we had already done a photo shoot. The label had already signed us, and we had to go now to the label and say, we fired somebody, but we have a replacement. And I remember
We did that a lot. We would go to the label and say, we went to Gary Getzman one time and Tom Hanks, and we're like, they made me go on the phone. Mr. Getman, what was his name? Gary Getzman. So are you still interested in the band if we like fire our management? That was one for the books. We were notorious for firing people, and
and regretting it afterwards.
Yeah.
Remember that we photoshopped Katie into the photo shoot.
We did a lot of changes because we were so concerned. We were concerned. We worked so hard. I mean, what people don't remember is, and Kate, this was before you were with us, but we would come to my apartment in Hollywood Hills, Hollywood, not Hollywood Hills.
Off of Formosa
and Fairfax. Yeah. And we would go and we would, I taught Tal how to sing the Star Spangled Banner for the Colorado Rockies game. And Tal, do you remember? I kept going, no, Tal, it's and the Rockets. And she's like, duh. Duh. And I'd go, the. And she's like,
dude, it was so hard. I couldn't hear it.
I mean,
as a foreigner, it was like,
to a different country and pick up a whole language, and then essentially go to Hollywood as a young woman
You
do
know,
the things that we did.
that,
It was quite
yeah.
amazing.
But
You know,
so
but
did
that's
you
such a good
instantly
point.
get along?
What was your question?
Did you instantly get along together? Like all five of you were like super close. Did you live together?
Yeah, it's like this. It was just like this. Like it was, we bickered, and we got, because of lack of maturity at times. But yeah, I mean, I think we instantly knew when we met. Like when I went for the audition, I know I cut in and out on that. I remember thinking I had missed the auditions for the Spice Girls, and somebody I knew got into the Spice Girls, and I was so angry and disheartened about it, and not a good spirit at all about it. And I remember going to this audition and thinking, well, I'm not messing this one up. This one's mine. And I was determined. And I remember Christina, I looked at Tal, I looked at Gabby, and I was like, you're my girl, right? You're my girl. And they all like looked at me like, all right, Gabby wanted the other girl, like, but it's all right, Gabs, I still love you. And I think we just knew, like, we always knew when the five of us were in a room and then came aboard, we just knew the five of us had something different.
Yeah.
And we were smart enough to know that, gosh, this is sellable. This is TV worthy. This is record deal worthy. We knew that the entertainment industry was going to somehow give us a deal. It was never, are we going to get a record deal and a TV show? It was, when are we going to do, and which company are we going to pick? It was, which, is now as a grown woman, I think, wow, what cockiness and what amazing confidence. But I think we just knew, right, guys?
Yeah.
I think I would say that I think Andy and Christina were already very, like, they already knew what, because I guess they had worked in the industry before. And I mean, Tal had been a professional singer where she lived, but she was new in the country, and I was like, I didn't even know what I was doing, right? And then Kate was a little kid, so she was just like, yeah. But like, I think that Andy and Christina were just like real, like very mature and very knowledgeable, very like they just had the idea, and we would just follow along, and we would just be like, yeah, let's do this and let's do that. And then, I mean, we were all very disciplined human beings, and I think that helped a lot. But definitely Christina and Andy were the ones who had already been around it. They even, Andy had like she was friends with or she went to school with Victoria from the Spice Girls, and I mean, it was just like something they really took us on, because I think the two of us, like Kate and I, were like more like, we were not real, like really like educated for what we were like coming up for, and they took us there, And then I think Paul, yes, she was a professional singer, but in another culture, in another world, in another country. So I think these two girls just made it like, and they could see us for what we could bring to the table, and they were able to strategize,
I was like, I don't think vocally I'm brilliant. I'm a brilliant dancer, and I'll always own that. But for me, I was a classical trained singer, but I was by no means a soloist. I was a very lucky dancer that got a record.
So I want to say something that is so on the money, Gabby. Thank you so much. I came here with a big pride. I came here to conquer Hollywood like many other people, but I'm not American. I'm not, what do I know? And do I adapt to the culture, or do I have my own path, uniqueness, right? So it was a constant battle for me. And now as a grown woman, looking back, it was sort of like an ego mixed with, my self-confidence. What the hell, I'm second doubting myself, all these questions about different things. But I knew one thing and one thing only: we got to stick together, because that's how we're going to get there, and I knew how to sometimes, you think it was all, honey and everything, but no, we had our talks in the car, remember, guys? We had our little things, they educated me, and sometimes I didn't want to get educated. I was such a rebel anyways, in my own way. But looking back, I just want to say it was the best time of my life, and it was such a great lesson for me personally, that I'm teaching my kids about being humble, knowing what you're worth, being humble, but also being respectful. That's very important. Yeah.
You know, one thing that I'm in awe of your English. Oh my God, it's so good. Girls, remember Tal and myself like correcting each other.
Oh my God. Yes.
That
Till
was so
this
funny.
day. Till this day, I'm having problems. I became later on a TV show host and did some stuff too. But I think the insecurities of what I was going through in the band, you guys gave me the strength to overcome them, realizing what were the insecurities, truly, like that I couldn't hear it or I didn't want to hear it. Oh no, you're not right. I know what I'm doing. It's being young and being, like I'm in Hollywood. It's true. It's the energies. It's everything. But moving forward, it was just such a great lesson, such a great time.
Now,
Uh-huh.
Kate, I hope you. How was the recording of the album? What can you tell us about the songs? Did you like the songs that were introduced to you, or how was the recording?
It was challenging. I would have to say that when I entered the group, I was still working. I was a full-time student at DeVry, and I was also working as an accounts payable clerk. I remember walking in a secretary outfit with glasses, and the girls were like, you gotta look more Hollywood than that. I had short hair. It was quite interesting. And I had to basically tell my boss, I'm in a pop group, and he laughed at me, interestingly enough. And I would say about months later when he saw an interview of us, he kind of like ate that. And that was kind of cool. And it's like the Lakers, right? And they're the starting five, and Kobe Bryant's in there, and Pau Gasol, and everybody's in there, and I'm put in as a starter in this basketball league, and I'm just coming from the street who had like my lessons were from teachers, from college, from high school, from choir. It wasn't like professional like these ladies. I was only like guerrilla auditioning everywhere. So it was quite nerve-wracking, although I would say it was a really good boot camp. I would have to say one of the first recordings we did was with Derek Bramble. I still keep in touch with him today. He actually helped me out with my wedding and got me in the instrumental for I Just Wanted You to Know, and I was able to sing it to my second ex-husband.
I was
So
there,
it was
girl.
kind of great.
I was there. Remember
Yeah,
that,
and we
remember?
sang. Thank you, Tal, for
Okay.
coming. It was amazing. I have a video of it. If I could post it sometime, I would. I just don't want to get sued. But anyway, beyond that, it was a challenging time. It was great boot camp. I would say that I grew as a singer, as an artist, as an actress, as a dancer. And he really worked with me on the dancing. I truly appreciated that. Um, I mean, as an immigrant from the Philippines who was basically like with a visa that aged out from my green card, and to have to like fight for that, and to have to marry my first ex-husband and do that, and he loved me and he actually helped me out with that. It was really great. And for me to be able to have this opportunity, it's truly an American dream. Although there's a couple of things Christina and I are working on to get this resolved for us, and if we can, hopefully these songs can be put out there, because if I ever do any comedy shows, this is the opening song that they introduced me with, Cinderella and I-5 song. So if people are going to make money off of it, we girls need to get paid.
It should be
Hashtag pay
us.
I-5. Hashtag pay I-5.
Yes. So I'm gonna step in. I did a couple of songs for the album, and also Tal, I think you and I did one of the songs. And
Best
then
friend, yeah.
but I'll tell you what thing about recording the album. For me, it was I think it was like the best teaching experience, because I was not a good singer at all, like at all. And every time I will come in the room to record, uh, they would just hold me there for like 1 hour, and then they will be just like, you know what, let's bring Tal in. So it was always having this,
Yeah.
and then realizing that as an artist, you might not be good for something, but that doesn't mean that you're not enough. Does that make sense?
True.
So like I knew what I like brought to the table, and it was always like a constant reminder, and like having like it was like a challenge, but it made me very strong. I think that made me very I don't know, it was just like this thing where I was like, you know what? I don't need to fight to be to be singing, because I am just not at that level at this for like I cannot compare my voice to Christina's voice, to Tal's voice, you know? So I was like every time, and it was a daily, constant, daily thing where I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna step out, because this is not this is not what I do best. And for the group, what has to happen is that the best singer sings. It's not about me, it's about the team. So it was like,
I
I
actually
think,
remember you saying that, Gabby, and that was like a lightning bulb when we would easily get offended if, you know, if it was all Christina or it was all Tal, we would get so offended. And my advice to young pop groups is, if the producer wants one particular singer, that's representing the group. It doesn't matter when it comes to the video, when it comes to the tour, you're all gonna sing, you're all gonna do it, but
yeah.
give it up, let that producer have what they want with your vocals, because it's gonna represent the bands. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now here's a question that everybody is asking and that everybody sent to me. Why was there never a distracted video?
Oh God. Oh
Dude.
God.
Christina, take it. Whoever
Okay,
knows the legal stuff, take it.
I gotta say something. I'm still in touch with the director that was supposed to be doing our music video. And Charlotte, do you ladies remember Charlotte? Charlotte Dark, she was in our label. She married him. Anyways, our kids are like best friends and we're good. She told me the story. She told me the story, why it was. It was, I guess it was too much money to make that video. It was too much money. Now I produce now music videos, and the money that we were asking back in the day is it's a lot. It's a lot to what people are asking right now. But I think the label's excuse, in my opinion, was the money. How much money to produce that song, Distracted? That's what
I
it was.
also, Cal, we have the same attorney, and I also dug into this further.
Oh, you
And
got with my attorney?
well,
Barney?
you know, he's my attorney now too. Yeah, trying to
My
get us paid.
Barney.
All right, trying to get us paid every paycheck. So anyway, so with that, and Lobe and Lobe is huge in Los Angeles and Hollywood. Lobe and Lobe is huge, and there's a little digging, and we found that we were tax write-off. They
Of
shelved our
course we were.
because
I mean, come on, it's ABC of business, of course. But you know, but it was the best tax write-off ever because I got to meet
And
all
you
of
know
you guys.
what, girls? At the same time, we were right at the time where Napster came up.
We're
So
who?
I think that when we started, the label and everyone was so excited. I mean, remember, we were like on the top 20 or whatever in the US or whatever you guys call that thing. And then everybody was very excited. We were like on the best tours, everything. And then when that thing dropped, because it was right at the time of Napster, remember?
did you
So
guys use
I
it? They
remember
didn't
that
put
was
it.
the summer when Napster like started just kicking the whole industry's butt. And then we got like tangled in it. And then the label was like, because everything was so expensive. You
Because
know,
they didn't pay
every
this.
every
They didn't pay it.
song was like $100,000. I mean, it was ridiculous, you know?
You have to remember too, Mariel, our album cost $1 million to produce. 21 years ago. Our album dropped September 12th of 2000. And so it was $1 million because producers back then, this is before the internet, people weren't, I mean, they used the internet, but it wasn't at the level. Some feedback. I don't know if it's.
I think it comes from Tal.
Oh, Sal's the feedback. Oh, but no, I would say that a couple things are that our album was so expensive, and I remember because you guys remember I was a bulldog to our management with you guys, and I was a bulldog to our label because you know I had been in LA a long time, and this was a dream of ours. And going back to what Gabby said, and you know, God, everyone's saying some things that really is touching me personally because the group was my ticket. I had been pounding the pavement for years, and I was good, but I wasn't great. I was good enough, but not great. And I was pretty, but I wasn't gorgeous. I was okay body wise, but I wasn't stunning. And but going, this Hollywood, we learned it, we know it. But at the end of the day, I remember feeling so guilty, until you know this feeling, guilty if a producer would pick me to sing. When Guy Roche pulled me aside and made me sing every freaking lick and everything, I would be bawling in there going, please don't do this to me. I don't want to sing everything. I lose my voice before, remember that? I would feel so guilty because I didn't want anyone to feel that, right? We were a group, we were a team. It felt like I was always being told how would and they would almost pit us against each other. So when everyone was talking about that, especially when Gabby said that, it made me cry because I got choked up listening to Gabby say it because I always felt so guilty that the producers, because my English was good. Well, of course, I'm American.
Okay. True story. You didn't know that. Maybe you did. I don't know if Gabby, you remember I told you that. We were at David Frank's house, right? We did Distracted, and we did that, and we did another song. Anyways,
the worst song on the album, the worst song, They Say. Remember that?
They Say, yeah, that one. We did that one, and then I overheard him. I think Gabby, you remember that? What happened? That I overheard him. Dude, her English sucks. Like I heard him. You mother. Can I say mother? Anyways, I was like, what? I remember laying down, going back, and I'm like, he did not say that. And then me, Tal B, the fighter, it's like, I'm gonna show him, and when I got more nervous, I made more mistakes because I was like, the came back again. Remember that? And no, it's a constant battle. As a foreigner, especially, it's a constant battle. And for you, Christina, to say that, it's like I really didn't know that that's what you were going through. I wish we could have talked about it more back then, and all the group too, but it was what's best for the group, right?
Honestly, though, Cal, your diction and the way you sang, you have like the vocals of an angel, girl. Every time I send or show people your voices, I mean, I have them hear it. It's just stellar. And honestly, being international 5, representing the whole world, not just a country,
right?
that diction actually makes us who we are. You know what I'm saying? Andy's Liverpool diction, accent, Gabby's accent, my hip hop, weird urban Filipino accent, the Mexicans of Asia is the Philippines, and your diction, that's what made us unique compared to everybody else because we sounded different. That's what was going to plummet us internationally. That's why we were released in Asia. That's why we were released around the world.
But
that's
back in the day, that was not a thing.
Pivot.
That's the thing, like we were more for like right now.
Woke.
Yeah, exactly. there was no woke culture.
They were not woke, and the future was female. Come on.
Yes.
It was about how young. I remember listening back to our album, and Tal, you probably can relate to this. I can't tell you how many times, and you guys heard them recording me, and then forcing me to sound younger. Remember? I mean, I was 22 for freaking 5 years. I remember at Orlando, we're in Orlando Arena, and we're like, Orlando! And then we were signing autographs. This girl comes up, she's like, my sister went to high school with you, and she graduated with you, but she graduated with high school. And I was like, I don't know, what? Next, because we were 22 for like 100 years. And I was like,
I still can't remember how old I am because I lied so much when we were in I-5. I lied so much about my age. I still have problems remembering that I'm nearly 50. Yeah.
You know that people say to me, like, oh, was it the label that made you guys do that? Because you guys have to be like all single and young. And I laughed. I said, no, we did that to each other. We wanted to be young. Remember Gabby? Gabby's like, we can't look old. You can't look old. You have to be young.
Gabby used to make us do all sorts of tricks. Yeah. We weren't allowed to be old. Yeah.
No, Gabby always did that. I lived with her crying out loud.
And this with her neck.
Like
This.
You
Oh
know
wait,
where
the
that's
last
at. You
thing.
look back.
Hold
You
on.
look back. You
I
know
have
where
the
that's
move
at.
for Gabby. This is the move for Gabby. To breathe.
Which is
Because I
ideal
go like
because
this.
I can't breathe. My
I can't breathe.
nose.
So she would always go like this.
Remember, you would always be like, because to you guys, plastic surgery was just like back in the day was the thing that people don't do in the US, right? Right now they're doing it, but back in the day it was not a thing. But in Mexico, in like where I live, that's
I'm
like
coming.
a normal super.
I'm
like,
coming. I'm coming to visit you very soon.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
15
yeah.
years old. That's
Yeah,
what they
yeah,
get
yeah.
for their party.
Listen,
You know,
yes.
they get a nose job, right? They
That's
get
true.
boobs.
That's
19,
true.
you get boobs, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but-
and you were so like, oh my God. And then I remember Christina going like, I'm gonna punch you in your fake nose.
Did you say
I'm sure I
that?
probably said that. I wouldn't doubt it. I was really mean. Listen, there were some moments, because I was so business, you guys know I'm crazy and funny, but I was always like, an eye on the prize, ladies. We got a short span of time while we're relevant, and it's going to be gone. And when it's gone, it's over. And I'll be like, and we burned.
Oh my God.
Every tour bus manager we had quit. Why? The 5 chicks were arguing over like who's wearing the purple.
Dave Oken.
Remember
broke it.
being wrapped in Hello Kitty and they all called us the pussy bus?
The pussy bus. We were wrapped in pussy. We
Oh,
had
that
pussy
was the
bus.
time that we hung out with like Tone Loc and Sugar Ray. We did that big thing, and they were on the
Yeah.
pussy bus with us.
Oh
yeah.
my God, my
They're like,
town.
you guys on the pussy bus? Yeah.
There's a lot of memories I don't want to remember. In the
Oh, I
I
remember.
don't, me neither.
Shit.
Um,
The back of the
to
pussy
me,
bus.
let's clarify. It's because it was Hello Kitty outside.
That's
That's the reason why.
Yes.
It was not a vagina. It was a Hello Kitty. Let's just
we
make
did
it.
have 5
Let's
vaginas
clarify.
on the bus. We did have a creepy bus driver a few times.
Yes, who
And-
washes our underwear?
Dude, he's
Yeah.
my friend on Facebook. Is he
They
okay
all-
on Facebook?
Gail.
Wait, time out. Oh my God, Mariel, you're gonna love this. Or Mariel, we are going to tell you about a 2-second story.
Mariel. Sorry.
Mariel.
Mariel.
We were invited to go to a strip club. Okay, you have to understand. Back in the day,
I have
the boy
students watching
bands.
this, Christina. Easy.
Do what?
I have students watching this. Easy time.
Oh God,
My students too.
this is rated R.
They know we're rock stars.
Just so we're clear, my daughter's not
What
gonna.
happened?
Well, I'll be careful because nothing happened actually. However, we did fight the labels, and I will say this was us pulling a early, not Me Too, but a equal unity. Do you remember? Okay, so I call the label up, and I tell Craig Coburn and Jeff Aldridge that the boy bands get money for strip clubs. They get per diem for strip clubs, and we get no money for a makeup artist, and we can't even go have a steak dinner.
We want to go to a strip club.
I was like, we need money to go to a spa. That's actually, ladies, that was the first. That's why I own spas now. It's because of the first experience I had in my 5 going to a spa. Just FYI. That's why.
I said, high five.
Hey, high five. So, anyways, we basically went to a strip club and what was crazy is that we got up and were dancing fully clothed. There was no one in there. And the strippers loved us because they're like, hey, guys, hey, come moves.
Yeah,
And
my
what's the
children just
Andy?
came home.
Awesome. So Andy was swinging around a pole and like grabbing onto me. And then it was just
No. The children are there. Shh.
that's okay.
No,
But nothing
girls.
happened. But it was so
Yeah,
much
the phones
fun.
over there.
And the guy tried to take a picture because they didn't have phones. He took a picture of us, and Dale, our bus driver, who was our first bus driver on LFO, grabbed that guy's camera like he was our security guard and said, no pictures. And he threw the guy's camera. And that was it. And we were like, we're celebrities now. And do you remember we were on LFO? We were on the tour bus, and we heard our single on the radio.
I'll never forget that.
Never forget that.
That's one of, for me, like, that's one of the most, there's pivotal moments in one's life now, nearly almost 50, and I will never forget the feeling of hearing us on the radio, crouching down in the tour bus I don't know what town we were in, Boston maybe, I don't know. And I heard our song on the radio. It was still to this day one of the most amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's even crazier? This is the juxtaposition of what a where are they now moment where I call it water on a skillet was our success. It's like
Quick hello.
that's how fast it was, right? Water on a skillet. Oh, look at Trixie.
That's Trixie.
So
we had our single, but years later I'm at Bed Bath & Beyond and I'm standing there and all of a sudden I hear distracted, yeah, yeah. I hear my voice and I'm like, connected, yeah. And I was like, what is, I literally was like, is someone, what's going on? And it's on the radio on a satellite and this is me. This is Where Are They Now? Nowhere. In Bed Bath & Beyond with like slippers and a freaking robe. And like, I got my daughter in tow and I'm 60 pounds and I'm fat fuck. So I'm like this. I look up and I'm like, oh my God, and that's me. I look crazy. I looked nuts.
My other one is my Valerie.
Oh, how cute is it?
Hi, Millie.
Hi, Mill. That was my moment. Was after our amazing moment. That's our song. 5 years later in Bed Bath & Beyond.
Check this. Being a Filipino and we're all about karaoke, going to a karaoke bar and being distracted there and being able to sing it and be like, yeah, that's my song. That's my song. Yeah. And all the Filipinos like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You representing Pinay pride. You know, I was like, yep, that right there is defining moment.
I've been to
I have to say, guys, I don't know if you guys watch this show, The Real, with several women. There's Adrienne Bailon from 3LW. Yeah,
yeah, I saw that.
She was part of the Cheetah Girls, and she said one time, bad news, guys. We weren't the first ones to perform Cinderella. It was another group called Play, and I instantly clicked it like crazy. And I was like, oh no, darling, it was I-5. The original Cinderella version is I-5.
Which
and I'm going to tell you how that song came about. We went to the, it was a lady and a guy, I don't remember their names, the writers, right?
Lindy Robbins.
Yes. So, and I remember I came in, we were talking, and then I showed him about a book that is called The Cinderella Syndrome.
Yes.
And this is way before the Me Too, the girls, girl boss movement, whatever. And I was already like a full, like, you know, like feminist, whatever, like in my own idea, whatever. I mean, being an engineering student with only guys, you can imagine, right? I had to like.
But she also looked like a playmate with some big old tick bitties. I mean, I'm just saying.
But then I spoke to them about this concept of being, you know, your own woman and whatever, and then the Cinderella complex, right, about this book, and that's how they came up with that song. So they wrote it and they sent it to us, and they're like, we want you guys to hear it and then see if you guys think we match what you guys were looking for. And we're like, oh my God, we love it. And then we just did it. And then after that, other people started doing it, you know, but we were the first. For sure.
I think also I heard, so I had like a nice, I remember that too, Gabby, and thanks for reminding me of that. We did get a mention recently on Disney radio because it was really cool because my kids actually don't believe that I was actually in a girl band. They really, they think I'm making it all up and I'm just mom who owns the Disney radio, you know? And so it was a really neat moment when it was on Radio Disney, and they did take a moment to say this was originally recorded by I-5, played the I-5. So Kate, go after the royalties for us.
Yeah, working on it. We just need a copy of the record deal, ladies. Just digitize it, send it to that link, that drive, and Barney will be on it.
Good luck.
Was there ever a plan to release a second single, or no?
No, plan B was La-Di-Di, La-Di-Da, I believe, not Cinderella.
Yeah,
it was sitting in Chicago. I was so sorry, Christina. I was so upset. I remember my legs were shaking. I'm like, no, it's not going to be good, Distracted. No. And I remember, not Jeff, what's his name, with the beard? He was there. He flew in because I was so mad. And he says, "Don't worry, we got Plan B."
Jeff Aldrich.
Not Jeff, the other one with the
Bob
beard.
Catania.
Yes, Bob Catania. And he says, "Don't worry, we got you guys. Plan B." And I said, "How long?" "Okay, you release Distracted, and how long are you gonna release La Di Di La Di Da?" And there was no.
I think what was happening, unbeknownst to us, I think that Irvin Aza they had already filed for bankruptcy, and I think we were so expensive as a band, like the money that they had pumped into that album, we were too expensive to buy, so the other labels did not want to buy us, because by that point they had heard there was this girl band and they were all getting their own girl bands, and that's why you saw I-5 sort of plateau, and then you saw the other bands getting their own.
Girls, let's do this. Let's switch to, I know that I'm not the host of the show, but let's switch to talking about when we were on tour with Britney Spears, with NSYNC, with LFO, with all these people, because I think people want to know how, you know how, Andy, you say your daughters don't believe that you've been going through this. I think that was like that incredible experience that we all got to live, right? Like being on those tours was just surreal, was incredible.
Yeah, for me, the highlight was, we worked with that vocal coach, Doc Holliday, who had worked with En Vogue, who I was just nuts about. He'd worked with Michael Jackson. And
who came to my wedding.
Tour, right? He did. I love that. The first tour that we went on with LFO, I believe it was LFO. And who did we go on the Nickelodeon tour?
Nickelodeon, all that, and then we did
with Nick Cannon. With Nick Cannon.
There were some amazing artists.
Which I ended up dating too.
Summer tours, but also we were on the Oops tour with Britney Spears, which at the time Britney was the hottest thing in town. I mean, as she is again. Do you guys remember meeting her? How like young she was?
Yes.
They had little tiny Yorkie dogs, like little Yorkshire Terriers. And I'll never forget, we were eating in craft services, and she came out, and her friend was like, "Do you guys want to get manicures?" Well, that's okay, because we were all just like, we were a little starstruck. I mean, it was Britney Spears. And of course, the girl group went on before us or something. And of course, Christina Aguilera on the other tour, we were like, yeah, she was a bitch. And then we were like, you guys wanted me to kill Christina Aguilera so bad that Christina was laughing. I'm like, please, are you kidding me? So she's this big, I'll kill her, but her team will kill me. I just remember, if you guys, oh my God, there's so many memories. LFO was... They gave us an opportunity, and we still are friends with Mike Caputo. We put together this LFO, and I know
Mike and I just had dinner a couple of months ago.
Did you? I love communicating.
Yeah, he's so good. Because we work together with the same artist, so I produce music videos now. I work with my husband, who's a director, and we work with all the labels, and Mike and I are working on some stuff too on the side. So how the world goes around.
So cool.
It really is.
So guys, let's go back. Britney Spears NSYNC. Let's just give us, because I think people want to know.
Let's talk NSYNC, because we were on tour with them for the longest time. Well, to me, it felt like we were on
LFO?
NSYNC.
NSYNC. NSYNC was the big one, right? Gabby, here's a great memory. You and I hanging out with Justin and Chris, going to their hotel. Nothing happened, FYI.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, it could have. But you guys know me. You guys you called me Cinderella, Gabby, because I had Doug, and I eloped while I was on tour. September 7th, 2000, I got married in Santa Barbara. I eloped. I think I told Andy, and then I told the group after I eloped. Because, we've been engaged for a while. And I wore my wedding band. Do you guys remember this? I wore my wedding band on my middle finger on tour, and a couple
on your thumb.
Oh, shit.
Christina,
that's where it
stop
fits.
going on a tangent like you always do.
I do, always.
Let's go back. Britney Spears
NSYNC took us to Miami, and they rented out, the two awesome things, my favorite nights with NSYNC. One, they rented out a movie theater.
Oh my God, I remember that.
We were running around with Chris.
Yeah.
Joey and like and they were the kindest, most awesome guys. We were on Justin's tour bus, and I remember we were watching like funny videos and stuff, and he opened his fridge, and it was like he was maybe like that young star that we were just like, holy crap, this is gonna be us in a few months. That's what we thought. And Justin had like all these drinks and stuff, and I remember him saying like, you can have anything you want on my tour bus, anything you want, just don't drink such and such. And I remember like quirky things, like he used to have like a new show. I remember his mother being on tour with us. It was like super strict with him.
Oh yeah,
we picked girlfriends for Justin.
we did.
I remember, guys.
Basketball.
Guys,
Remember
remember
wait, hold
that
on,
Christina used to be friends with one of the Backstreet Boys.
Yes,
and she
and
took
we went
us.
to their
And
house,
she took
man.
us to the recording of that video.
The Backstreet Boys
Oh, that
recorded
one.
the airport hangar. That's
I
right.
want it that way.
That's, the biggest one. One of their biggest songs. And Joe, Backstreet Boys. Okay, so I knew Howie, but I knew AJ. I was in a singing group with AJ back when we were I was like 12, and he was probably 8, maybe 7. It was ridiculous. And Howie was in this group that I was in, this acting group in Orlando, because I grew up in Orlando, and Joey went to a rival high school. Remember Joey's girlfriend on tour that was in the background all the time?
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember. And his brother, Steven.
He ended up marrying her though, right?
He did. He had kids with her. He married her, and Joey was Joey. Joey's still Joey, and I just remember us going out to a club
I
one
remember
night.
him going in our dressing room saying,
Oh,
"Hi,
yeah.
girls."
Listen, I remember Tal dating Kevin.
I remember.
I'm sorry. Can we just talk about Tal dating Kevin Federline on our?
Yes.
I'm not allowed to talk about that. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say anything. I used it on my comedy routine, dude.
Oh, man.
Listen.
Tal.
Kevin lived in my house because
Yes,
of
he did.
Tal,
Yes, he did.
and he was like living with Tal, and we were roommates, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that he was the worst slob.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we would come back from tour,
Oh god.
and he had like the house was just a mess, and he had like he was like doing drugs there. You know those
I don't know
drugs
if
that
he
you
was,
guys.
he was smoking pot, a lot of pot.
Well, you guys don't call that drugs, but to me that's drugs. But then yeah,
I don't
so
smoke. I'm allergic, but yeah.
Yeah, we won't talk about the tour bus. We won't talk about the tour bus.
no,
No, don't talk about the tour bus.
Nope.
Kevin, do not even think
Okay.
about it.
so each one of us.
What happens
because
on the road stays on the road.
Guys, the time is going up. Each one of us say just one thing about Britney, one thing about NSYNC. I'm gonna just say, I remember about Britney. I remember when I think it was the very first day of our tour, and we were in the catering room, and she was so sweet, and she was just like, she was approaching us, like talking to us, like just being like super sweet, and just being like, oh, like very genuinely super, super sweet. And I remember the contrast between that and then when we met Christina Aguilera, when we sang in Christina Aguilera's tour, or I mean the whatever radio tour, and also the Mandy Moore girl. I remember that was such a contrast because Mandy Moore and Christina Aguilera were not nice, and Britney was super nice. Then second thing, for NSYNC, what I remember going to Chris, whatever his last name is. I remember going to his house.
We went
I
to
remember going to his house.
Hey, do you have a picture with him? I have that picture.
I
at
have
his
pictures
house
of
in
all
Orlando.
that. You were wearing some green top and like really tight pants and your ponytail, and we were laying down something on the kitchen table. I have pictures.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like I think that touring for people out there, when they ask me or when they ask us, touring with NSYNC was fabulous because they were super, super nice, very professional. And they were just like, kids. They were just like kids. And it was just very professional. And also with Britney was just also a very nice person. So that's my 2 stories. Now moving on.
Okay, I want to say about excuse me, about NSYNC playing basketball with Justin and with JC that I had a crush on. I wanted to date him, but he was with somebody else. Again, you know, but I was playing basketball with him. I loved it. I don't know if somebody from our team was there.
Tal, you got muted.
Yeah, you got muted. Huh? We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
A little bit. Do you guys remember going to the nightclub in Miami with? I think that was one of my best memories ever. Like we were in the VIP section and
I didn't go.
Oh yes.
Jumped down into the dance floor and
Yes.
out near us, and I was swinging my dreadlocks. And next minute, Justin was dancing with me, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is magic!"
I wasn't there, but I remember that Justin wanted to kiss Christina.
Ow!
I remember Gabby and I trying to dance with Justin. He was dancing with his assistant or whatever and said, no, not you two. I remember that.
No, bitch, I didn't go to that place.
There was another club with Justin in it, and we were trying to dance with him, and he was like, not the two of you.
Well, I don't remember that.
And I also remember having a picture with Lance Bass.
Oh yeah, you loved
really
Lance.
close.
Yeah,
with the MTV guy.
We knew Lance was gay the moment we met him. We said he ain't into none of y'all and none of us. So
everybody with the beard.
He was very
we
sweet.
figured that one out, but he was so sweet. I don't know about you guys.
My memory with Britney would be like how nice she was. They supposed to said I was really cute. We were like comparing glitter in her eyes. She's cute. She was sweet.
She was
That's
asking
my
if
memory.
we ate the chocolate cake. Remember, she's obsessed with chocolate cakes. At the end of the food was insane in the catering. Do you remember the food at Britney's tour? It was insane.
We weren't allowed to eat the food until we finally fought to be able to eat it because they would always have it out right while we were on stage. We were like, oh my God, we're starving. Can we just have a little bit of something? Girls, don't forget, we had to ghetto-fy ourselves. We had to like fight. We had to crawl and fight to get a makeup artist. We were doing our own makeup. We were like, please. It took us, the first tour we tried, and then we got one finally. And then we did our makeup actually better than anyone. Gabby actually did the makeup incredible. I used to watch Gabby do her makeup. And I have a couple memories from touring that I can talk about. The other ones are private jokes between all of us together, so I'll be careful.
You said that I couldn't hear it. You said that I couldn't do my makeup, right?
No, that you could. You did makeup on point. Your makeup was always so incredible. MAC was our sponsor. Remember, we had MAC and
Senna Cosmetics.
That's right. We got incredible OPI nail
and OPI nail.
Nicole, his daughter. Tal made that happen, and we got sponsored by that. We went after that stuff. Nobody got that for us. You know, Hello Kitty. We went hard. That was you, Gabby. All Hello Kitty. What Gabby was obsessed with Hello Kitty. Everything was pink and Hello Kitty. He would have had a Hello Kitty mobile. But two memories for me. Britney Spears tour, Jones Beach, New York. Such a freaking incredible.
Oh yeah.
1,000 people screaming for us. I'll never forget signing autographs for hours. So much so when the group was done and I was at the bank and they're like, just put your, just sign your name. I'm signing my autograph like I'm somebody. And they're like, what the heck is this? And then I remember dancing with Justin and I told my husband, who was my fiance at the time, I told you about her. I called him the next day and said, let me tell you something. I had an opportunity tonight. They were calling me Britney on tour. Remember, like it was a running joke because I wore a tangle hat. And they called me Britney, and he and I sat next to each other with a naked shirt top. I'm like, he was my boyfriend on tour, but not really. And I remember being like, this is my shot, and I won't do it. Oh, look how cute!
Yeah,
how cute.
Sorry, my daughter wanted to say hello. Although if my ex-husband ever sees this video, he'll sue me, but I don't give a crap. Right? Say hello. This is Emily.
The Justin Timberlake thing was real. I have a very big crush, and I was very proud of myself for not going there. But boy, let me tell you something. It was on like Donkey Kong, and so instead I pointed out probably a stripper for him to hook up with, and he did. So it was whatever. But I loved being on tour. In those 25 minutes we got to perform, or whatever it was some of the best moments of my life. to this day. And laughing, there were a lot of tears. We all fought. We did our typical things. So we were 5 married women from all over the world with different cultures, different backgrounds, different ages, different experiences. I was not nice to Kate. I should have been nicer to Kate. I was mean to her sometimes because I was so obsessed with the fact that Andy and I knew we had a short time. And I was so scared we were going to miss our fire because I saw it was chasing our tail. And it's exactly what happened is the label said to us, ladies, I don't know if you remember this, we'll watch and see how Backstreet Boys' album does. If it doesn't hit platinum on the first day it's out, we know that pop music has changed for good. And that's exactly what happened. And that's why we didn't get a second record. That's why we didn't get a music video. And sure enough, Boys, their album didn't go platinum. Avril Lavigne came out. Alanis Morissette came out. Everyone was angry. And nobody wanted pop bubblegum anymore. It was over.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult for us in that time. I will say that. Andy, what was your...
Wasn't there I remember that it was their manager or somebody's big manager that wanted to get with us.
Johnny Wright.
went and met
Do you
Johnny.
remember how we sat outside his house?
We sat outside. We were
But
all
he was the one who came to us.
He came to us. He asked us because he wanted to sign us because Eden's Crush television show was done. He had heard about us. We were all excited. We got rid of Scott Carlson, and Scott Carlson was a trooper for us. He put up with so much.
I love that guy. Yeah.
That guy was, and you know what? You guys remember, I met him 4 years prior at a restaurant because I wanted to act and I wanted to sing. And he was like, well, you know.
Scott was, just for the viewers, Scott was our very first manager that actually got us our first record.
Yeah,
He did. He fought for us.
He walked us in. He got us makeup and hair to go walk to television shows. We got a television show that never happened. But
Remember, I think I have a
Called it TriStar deal. ICM.
ICM. She called me a TriStar, guys. I mean, it's things that for my life, I mean, I had been fighting and crawling and auditioning and trying. And the only way into these rooms was with these ladies here. And that's what we're talking about. You asked us about auditioning. It was the lightning in the bottle. And I knew it when I met Tal. I knew it when I met Andy. Tal and I knew it when we met Gabby. And we knew it wasn't right with the first person. And we knew it was going to be right with Kate.
Not you, Kate.
Remember the Staples Center when we sang the national anthem for the Clippers?
Yeah.
That's when we felt the goosebumps together. That was my first performance with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, with the
The little bobble weird antennas in my hair.
Yeah, you looked really cute. You filled that void. You did perfect.
No, and Christina, honestly, you ladies, I know that you guys remember how you were tough on me. I actually would like to say I appreciated that. It made me the woman I am today. It made me be able to marry my second ex-husband, who was very tough, an executive of a multi-billion-dollar company, to be able to deal with that. And it made me thick-skinned. It made me deal with the son that I have today, who has a rare disease that has an expiration date. But it made me a stronger woman because of you ladies, and I want to thank you for that. And if it wasn't for this experience, I don't know that I would have had the strength and courage to be able to fight for my son's life when he was terminal. So I would have to say you guys are a big part of that. You're a big part of that. So I thank you. Don't feel bad. What you guys did, you guys were like my mothers from from other countries, international mothers. And I know Tal knows this because we were crying at my wedding, and it was just, I grew up, and that experience is how I grew up. So I just want to give you guys my massive appreciation for welcoming me, for being tough on me, for training me to be the woman I am today. So I have to say,
you're a fighter, girl. You're a fighter. Look at you, what you're doing right now. Tell them what you're doing. I'm proud of you. You're
I'm just doing comedy and fighting my second ex-husband in law. 3 law firms against my 1 law firm.
Listen,
That is
Now,
so cool.
girls,
Paralegal now, so let's do it.
yeah, we have like a lot of questions for you. They're, like everybody's asking you what happened with Christina Aguilera.
oh, no, it was this. We were on tour. We were doing a festival. Christina was the headliner. We were, it was the Sugar Ray show, and we were there. And Christina, we always thought Christina was amazing, but we released a single at the same time she did, Hers was Genie in a Bottle. And as we all know, where she is, who she is now, and who we are, like no one.
Same writer.
Are wonderful
Same
people.
writer, David Frank.
Same writer, Steve Kipper.
Same writer. And so we there was you know, it was a running joke with us that I'm Christina. You know, I've always been known as kind of tough, and everybody knows. They would laugh. You guys would like when I would puff up and get real like everybody there back off, and because you know I felt like I was their big sister, and I don't know what it was. It was like I just felt responsible for this group. I felt like I had to make this happen for us. I didn't know how to make it with my fists in my hands, but it was the voices and the personalities that brought it to life. It brought light in a room. And Christina Aguilera, we were joking, like, wouldn't it be funny if Christina says something to me and I'm like, hey, go F yourself, you know, go bring it on, let's go, because I'm older than you, I'm way bigger than you, and I definitely have bigger tits than you, so let's go. And that was like the running joke. So the joke was that if we go on stage and she bumps me or something, what are we going to do? How are we going to roll? I'm like, well, I'm going to punch her, but then we got to run really fast and then we got to go to another country. We're going to Mexico. Where are we going? You know what I mean? That's it.
No, but Christina, I remember that when we were going to go sing, our time was very early, and then there was a lot of other singers, whatever, and then she was very late, right? Of course, she was the closing act. But they came to us and they made all of us, we were all artists. We're backstage. We're not fans. And they're like, you cannot look at her.
That's it.
You have to stay away.
Yes.
I remember that. We can't look at her. We can't shake her hand. We can't take pictures with her.
But you know, can I say something? Can I say something? I don't think Christina is such a big bitch. Okay.
No, maybe right now she's not.
No,
but back then she was like that.
She wasn't. Let me tell you something. Working in the industry, I work with Cardi. I work with everyone. The management are bitches. They're actually nice. They're not that bad. But
yeah, I'm not saying. The question was what happened to her with her, and this is what I remember. That day, she walked, and it was already dark, and she was going like this,
right?
Like she did this.
I don't remember this. Yeah.
I remember that.
Like, Christina, you need to go kick her ass. Because Gabby liked me to do her dirty work. So I'm like, oh, what did she say? What did she do? I don't care how many riffs she could do. I mean, she can sing me under a fence, but I don't care. My name is Christina, and I'm older than her and bigger than her, and I'll kick her. That was like the running joke with us. The reality was we all became pusses, and we're like, oh, it's Christina. I mean, that's what happens when you're 22.
You did not change, Christina.
You know, because you know, we all were like this. Yeah, you know, I'll tell her what's up. And then, hey, Christina.
Now, one more, this other question. Now, Gabby, and more like for Andy and Tal, how was it for you with this fashion thing that you guys wearing this pink and blue hair? Did you guys?
I loved it. I had dreadlocks. I used to go to Clyde, who does the Kardashians' hair now. And I used to go to his house in the Hollywood Hills. He would have to give me a couple of margaritas. I was there 10 hours, and he would sew these dreadlocks into my hair. I love my look. That was, you know, to be, you know, like for me, I was always a performer, but this on this level was amazing.
I just wanted you guys to see my daughter. Really sorry, Andy.
Hi, baby. You were there when you were born.
Hi. This is Avery, and she's 5'9". I'm just saying. Okay.
Wow.
Andy,
go ahead.
Yeah. You know, I go up to the Hollywood Hills. They gave me this look. I got Botox for the first time in my life at 27. The record label paid for it. It was amazing. We had makeup artists. You know, we had stylists for our albums. You know, and they would give us these clothes. We worked with Debbie McGuire from Friends. She gave us Tal's husband. She, you know, and it was an amazing experience to be a young artist and then have all of these designers and stylists, and it was phenomenal. We wore the best clothes, right, guys?
Yep.
Yes, I remember like keeping them. I had like that photo shoot for our album right there. That's Prada. I remember.
Very
Everybody's
original.
showing off their kids. Hold on. Rock.
Oh,
So cute, rock and rider.
Dude, look how tall he is.
Oh
they're
my
so
God.
Oh my God.
cute.
I'm wearing
So
shoes,
big.
but
Oh,
Oh,
He is
wow.
You're
in
a
2
gorgeous
years since
boy.
I saw him. Holy
yeah,
crap.
he's like 5'9", almost 5'9".
And my daughter's 17. Jesus.
What is she? What is she?
Wow.
She's 5'9", it's 17. She's 17. So.
Insane.
You know
Now,
what's happening, Mariel? Mariel, we have to, the girls are all, we all three, 5 of us have to get on another call and then just talk massive.
yes.
you guys
Let's do that,
remember
ladies.
Boxy?
Later on,
Roxy.
let's have like a meeting in Zoom, and we can broadcast it later and whatever. Just but like, hey, let's have it organized. Mariel, what's the next
Yeah, for sure.
question?
Because we got to talk about Boxy and how we had the first webisodes before the internet and YouTube. We had Boxy with Jennifer Aniston. We had our own reality show. It should have been us.
With Ira Ungelider, the writer of
That's
Friends,
true.
right?
Yep.
Who
Yes,
knows? They
that too.
filmed
We had
us.
a TV deal and we had Boxy webisodes.
They filmed us, and no one knows where those tapes are. I
Where
don't know.
are they?
Yeah.
Where are they? Who filmed us? What's
That
the
was that
production
cute
company?
girl with like she would ride ponies, and she was hired to film us from Voxy, Jennifer Anderson's film company.
Yeah, they filmed us. They
And the co-writer for Earth, Wind,
Maybe
and
there's a
Fire,
way to
September.
retrieve it. Maybe there's a way to retrieve it, Boxy. They don't exist anymore, but maybe there's
Do
a
you
way.
guys ever go into the Pee Wee Herman house to shoot our first album cover? And we met Annie. She's
That's
the girl
true.
from that comedian Kate. You'll know. Oh God, I can't think. Oh my God.
What, you mean Jim Carrey?
Oh,
Oh, we met. Oh my
We
God.
met
oh,
Jim
don't
Carrey.
talk about
I
that.
sat with him. Remember, we sat with him. He was sitting in the bed, and
He was doing
sitting in
something else.
No. He was just sitting down. We were in a party, and thank you, Rock. That's Rock showing his ferret.
Buddy.
I have a zoo, by the way, in my house. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a
Always.
donkey outside. I have a donkey. I have bearded dragons. Don't even go there. The things I do for my kids. Anyway, so he was sitting in bed. Remember, he was sitting on the bed and he was thinking about life.
She's gone.
Yeah. You
He's
went.
gone
I danced
again.
with him. That's all I remember. He was awesome. He was nice and kind to us. I thought he was a great. Tom Hanks was my favorite celebrity that we met multiple times, and he
The
asked
Staples
us
Center.
for autographs. That was
He
That
just.
You guys also toured with PYT
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
and Boys and Girls United.
Yep. They
Yes,
were on tour with
Nobody's
us.
Angel, No Authority. Ricky Rebel is huge right now. I still keep in contact with Ricky.
My Town, which really became the script.
The script.
which-
right.
I mean, Danny. Remember sitting on the bus, starting to write music with Danny and Mark.
He's such a talent.
Amazing. And I tried to stay in touch with Mark, and he got married to the girl that was on tour from Boys and Girls United. I'm in touch with Chris, the girl from Boys and Girls United I got through you. And she looked totally different, so I didn't recognize her without her braids in and everything. But
I'm actually going to interview her next week.
Oh,
she's great. Tell her we said hi. She hung out with us on our tour bus, and she was cool. She was one of the cool ones.
Yes. And what was like your favorite song on the album, Gabby?
Andy,
My favorite song is I think Cinderella, perhaps, or the Sweet and Sassy. Sweet and Sassy. That one I still use it. I made it. I made an album after this album, and it was a solo album, and I turned it into Mexican music. I don't know if you know I mean, if you're Mexican, you know Mario Quintero, right? Like
sí,
Mexicano.
comprende, sí, comprende.
Yes.
Sí.
I don't know. It's like her English is so good. I don't know if she's like really from here or from there or what. But yeah,
Thank
Mario
you.
Quintero did an album for me.
Yo,
And
yo,
then, yes, tú,
tú.
la otra. And then
Nice.
I used that song again. I remade it into Mexican cha-cha-cha. So yeah.
Oh,
My
I would
favorite.
love to hear that. No, that
Yes.
would be great. And what was your least
the
favorite
link.
song?
My least? I don't remember. I don't really listen to the album that much. Like there was perhaps I think Distracted. I hated it. I did not think that was, yeah, Distracted was just such a like remember that I was not a musician. I was not like a real artist. I was like more like a dancer and just like, just going for the fun of it. So for me, I couldn't really appreciate what the hype of that song was. I was just like, this doesn't sound appealing to me. This is not fun. I didn't like it. It was just whatever. But so I think that was my least favorite.
Which one do you like?
Okay.
Mike, Christina, Michael, my husband, guys, likes. Can I get a witness?
Oh,
Beautiful song. Beautiful.
I just saw
Great
Peter. Peter said hello, guys. I saw him a year
Peter
ago.
Mato?
Yeah, he lives in Orlando.
Nice.
I know.
Yeah.
I really, my
What was your favorite? Hey, Christina. Christina, what was your favorite?
My favorite was probably Cinderella. No, sorry, because I'm a singer. So Tal and I killed it on If I Ever See Heaven Again. It's on there.
Oh my God, that was so beautiful.
I just, why too? Because, and now that's my favorite song, but Kate played for me and got me 2 songs that Derek Bramble did for us that never made our album. And I
Those
listened.
are my favorite songs. Right
listened-
there. And my least favorite is They Stay. Frick, They Stay and Distracted. But those two.
I played the songs for my husband, who's been through everything with me. And I'll tell you right now, Tal and I sang, you guys sang it, but Tal and I, it was 14 hours long with this guy. He was a producer.
Derek Bramble was tough.
But amazing. And
He's a perfectionist.
it was like, I remember literally, you guys remember, I was like, I don't know what's next. I'm literally ripping my vocal cords in half. And those were the best songs we ever sang that never got released. But I would say for me,
agree.
it was If I Ever See Heaven Again, and we killed it. My least favorite was They Stay.
Least favorite. Okay. And Andy?
And Andy.
Girash. If not Girash. Diane Warren. If I ever see Heaven Again. My
Which
favorite.
was he wrote. You were right. He produced it. She wrote it.
Yeah.
She wrote, yeah. Which
And least favorite?
Least favorite? Gabby, I love you, but yeah.
I was going to say that.
I don't know. Scream Shout kind of wasn't my thing a little bit. Is that
Oh,
okay?
I like Scream Shout. That was my
We were just like,
I don't know.
remember that? You guys, do you by any chance know that Screenshot was bound to be on the Monsters Inc. DVD release, whatever?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
No,
and then
you
you
know
know why
that.
it didn't go? Because they couldn't get a hold of this Lorenzo dude that I was dating.
I remember him. He's the one that discovered me. Lorenzo.
They couldn't find him, and therefore they passed. But that was gonna be on the soundtrack for. It was gonna be the main song for Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Scream Shout.
¿Qué es eso? Coño, yo no sé por qué duele. Que vete pa' carajo,
I like
coño.
Lorenzo. I think you should.
Gabby, we called him
I liked him.
No.
He was a
Andy,
long
did you answer it?
Not
Your
yet.
favorite
So
and your least favorite?
For me, I loved oh God. I love Witness. I liked Scream
Witness.
Shout. I loved it. You know what? First Kiss was really cute, and it made it to the soundtrack of a dance movie that all of my students love.
Center Stage.
What was it called? First
Kiss.
First Kiss, that's right.
yeah,
First
but
Kiss.
what movie was it in?
Center Stage.
Center
Center
stage.
Stage.
Here we go.
Why do I have some lights here?
Yeah, and then my least favorite. I'm sorry, Gabby. I love you with a passion. I adore you, but I did not like the Friends song. What?
Best friend.
Oh, yeah, that was
friend.
Atal and me. It was
But I'm
Atal
so
and me.
happy that you got a credit.
Come on, Andy.
Did you make any money from that?
Oh,
If so,
You mean
please
Gullible
send me
Girl?
one
Gullible
me
Girl
up.
Productions? Gullible Girl?
Don't worry,
Hello,
we'll work on
girl.
it. Just find that record deal, ladies. Digitize and send to me, and I'll work on it. That's all I need.
let's do it.
And Kate, what was your
Pal.
favorite?
For
I'm
real.
serious. I'm coming after all those. It's intergenerational, man. You can will it to your kids. You can put it in your trust.
Mariel, did
You
you
know-
I'm always in Hollywood 4 nights a week.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Andy.
I said, Mariel, do you have a favorite song, or do the fans have a song that they hated, or?
My personal favorite is Scream Shout, and I think my least favorite is The Last Thing I Need.
Oh,
Oh my God,
And
it's
the
so
last
pretty.
thing I
That was kind of sad.
Those are good
Yeah.
lyrics,
I
though.
find it a little
Okay.
like I tend to skip it sometimes. So, but I like the whole album.
Aw.
Yes, and now I have this thing here. I was actually writing it last night. I will read you some lyrics if you remember what song is it from your album. So let me read this,
that's
and
cool.
I will try not to sing. So let's see if you remember this. I need somebody real, someone who makes me feel like he would sail across the ocean for one kiss.
First,
I have no idea. I'm
That was
Wait,
like first kiss.
I
Cinderella.
want somebody real, someone who makes me feel like sweet and sassy.
Or
I need
Remy.
somebody real. Yeah, you're right.
Yes, you got it,
Good
Tal.
job, Gabby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
The
Gabby, I
recipe.
think so.
The
The
rest.
recipe.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I did
Okay.
say recipe.
Christina, sing it.
Yeah. What? Hmm?
Sing it.
Recipe.
I don't remember it. I just remember.
The recipe was a good song.
Go bringing you to me. Da-da-da-da, honesty and trust. I can't sing anymore, guys. That's the last record I.
Here's the next one. Let's all get crazy. Let's act like fools. Because
Okay.
why take over?
Best friend.
Distracted.
No, we also
No, that's
Scream
Scream
shout.
Shout.
Scream shout.
Scream Shout.
Was it?
Scream
Okay.
Shout.
And that
Gabby.
was
And
Gabby's
we all
line.
survived.
That was Gabby's line.
Let's all
Let's
get
all
crazy.
Guys,
What you
because
can.
it was the part. It was the part where there was no singing. That's the reason why it was my part.
Did I go? Because Y2K's over. Wait, hold on. This was it at Disney. Remember? Because Y2K's over.
And we all survived.
No Armageddon to spoil the vibe.
Oh, that was Candy. No Armageddon.
No,
Okay. Let's see if you remember this. I watch you walk your dog. I puckered up my lip.
Best friend.
Best friend.
Best friend.
Yes. And even though sometimes I may seem kind of shy, don't let this impulse let me feel like I don't care why. Yes.
Don't let these nipples. What?
Nipples? What?
No.
I don't remember nipples, but I do say I want to see you come into my life.
That's
Yeah, that one.
Good job, Kate.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys know, but La Di Di La Di Da was first recorded in 1998 by this Danish group called Soap.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that.
But your version is better.
Thanks.
Yeah. Usually ours are. And we find that people copy us. I mean, I'm just
Wait,
saying.
you guys remember the producers? What was their name?
They were great. They were from like Sweden or something.
Yes, Godfather and Joe.
Yeah. They,
Father and Joe, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
how do you remember that? But you
I
don't.
don't exactly.
They
How
were
do you
on.
remember that?
I remember random things. Kyle's like, cut Father and Joe. I'm like, what? Oh my God.
They're my
Yeah.
people. No.
Now,
Kyle has a rat crawling on her back. I'm just.
He's a
Go ahead,
ferret.
Mariel. Mariel, go ahead.
Of course. I remember when we went to Israel, you said you were going to get a ferret.
Yes.
wait, you went to Israel?
Me too.
Together.
I went in 2018.
What? Where was I? Did I go?
No, you guys didn't go. It was just Paul and I.
When?
Oh, that's
I had a bag.
The record company paid for it. Remember?
The record
Oh.
label.
Wait,
Remember
wait.
2000?
Was that when you had your father passed?
Oh,
That's right.
Oh, that's
I remember.
right.
It was in September, wasn't it? Because I
It
remember.
was September.
Oh my God, Tal, that's right. We were in the.
Beginning of the
You did a
second.
show that
It was
day.
2000
I
September.
remember that. You went
It
on
was awful.
stage.
Do you remember when we landed in Chicago? I was
Yeah.
taking the scooter, you know, and I don't know if you guys remember, Gabby, you were next to me. I was calling my dad on the airplane before we took off. And I
You
said,
had
"Dad,
your little phone and the flip phone because there was no phones before, like, the intelligent phones. And then you were like, wait a second, my dad, like, because we were flying for 5 hours or something. And you're like, I have so many calls from my
Missed
family
calls.
right now. Like there was like 15 calls or whatever.
Uh,
And then you called and then you dropped to the floor and you
But
started.
oh
It
no,
was crazy.
I screamed.
Yeah,
like,
I remember.
And then the worst thing
Was-
was you guys
yeah.
performing the next day with glasses on.
Oh,
greeting
you
the-
were.
We were all,
was
remember
the
that time they wanted us to do lip syncing and we couldn't do it
No.
because we couldn't sing, but then we were not able to do lip syncing because we were the real thing, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't
So,
lip sync.
and that day was either Disney or Six Flags.
I think it was Six Flags.
Uh-huh.
I think so.
It was because I remember when you screamed in the airport, we all just kind of came to you, dropped to your knees, and we all
I
just
dropped.
it was
Started
all
crying.
awful.
She
We all-
dropped. Like,
all-
you like, literally, her body
you
was dropped.
guys. My
It was
dad
awful.
loved
I
you so
remember your
much.
dad in rehearsals.
Yeah.
Remember with Doc
Okay,
Holliday?
the dinner. Remember the dinner, and her dad wore the crazy hat with us. And I remember
I
Tal.
remember that.
Yes.
It was Tal. You went to Israel, and that's when I eloped because
I
I
know.
was like, we have a break for a moment. It was right before our album dropped, and it was and then we came back and we did the Disney tour in Orlando. And I feel like that was one of the last tours we did when our album dropped. We did a few more. We were in sync, and then we were waiting for the second song. And I
And
remember
we downgraded from the pussy bus to a van. Remember that? That was weird. Kate was saying something in the back. I remember what happened. What's gonna happen? Remember, Kate? I don't know. It was
Oh,
like,
I remember that. We were all in that white bus. Like, this is weird. We got used to the high life, and then they put us in a bus.
The
Yeah.
Prevo. It was a Prevo bus.
that was good.
oh, you
time.
remember that?
From a crappy bus.
Muriel, cut
You
to
had
the
a
next
question.
question.
Sorry, go ahead.
Would you guys consider a reunion?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Yes,
It's
but
that
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
so
I don't know
glad
what
to hear
kind,
that.
because I think that okay, this is and put it in the books. We're gonna do something together. We don't know what it's gonna be, but it will be, because if you notice, what Kate is the lawyer, so, and then she's a
Paralegal.
comedian, and she's a comedian. So is Andy's husband, and so is Christina. Even though she doesn't want to say it, she is always the life of the party because she's crazy and then she's funny. And then the producer is Tal, and Andy and myself were in the dance industry and then in the putting shows together. So something will come up for sure. We don't know what's gonna be, but something will happen. Look for
I
it.
haven't sang in so long, you guys.
me
To be
neither.
honest with you,
Feel good.
I'm so sad. I'm really sad. I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Don't.
Oh.
That's the reason I came to the United States. But you know what, Mariel? Sometimes life takes you different directions
Yeah.
that you would never, ever, ever, ever believe that you can achieve those levels, right, in life. I'm very blessed, but I'm just saying, I truly miss singing.
Oh.
And
Yes.
I kind of did lose my mid-range, Christina, which
Me
it's
too.
because talking.
You and I both. We are industry.
Screaming to sing
Just
to
put a
your
song in it.
students.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, students screaming, but it's not using the vocals, not keeping quiet, like what Doc used to say. But
yeah.
I miss it so much. I do hope that my voice can recover. I did go to a doctor. They said there's nothing in it. It's just vocal warm-up. And do we have the time?
It's practice. And you know what?
So
Tal, you're gonna.
people record albums now, like Modest Mouse, from their homes, and there's an engineer. You don't have to be in the same
Yeah.
Girl,
location.
It's called
all-
autotune.
I
You
got
mean
all
all
four
these
of you.
rappers
I'm a
I work
third
with?
above all four of you. Whatever you need, I will harmonize the crap out of it or speak the crap out of it. I
Well,
got
let me tell you something, Tal. Just so you know, from you and I, really were the people that had to sing the most. And I will tell you, after I left I-5, we all tried to do our own thing, and I tried. I went to Nashville. I got offered a record deal, and I turned it down because it was another girl group, and I was I had PTSD, and I was like, no, I can't. But I wasn't country enough, and I wasn't great enough. I was good, but not great. And I lost my fire. I was a songwriter, and then I stopped, and I had my daughter. And then, as life progresses, I've developed into a whole entrepreneur and life like Tal.
Same.
Yeah. What? I listened to I Just Wanted You to Know by Derek Bramble. And we sang that song together. I totally started bawling in the car, and Doug got choked up. And he said, God, you guys were good. And I was like, I know. And I had that moment of like, not sadness for regret, but a moment of like, we were so lucky to have found each other and believed in each other enough to get through all the bullshit. There was a lot of bullshit we had to cut through, more than a lot of pop groups will ever understand, with immigration, with language barriers, lawyers, people taking advantage of us, cultures, not understanding what we're talking about when we're trying to get through. We were married couples together.
Married.
And being married to all of you guys and having to navigate that without sex. I mean, like, it was just, it was a love and a challenge, and it prepared me, and I know Tal, and I know you guys can understand this. It prepared me for the woman I am today, and the business that I run with a business partner I've had for 16 years that's a female, and a 98% women in business. I mean, we had 250 employees recently, all females. It's just, that's what you guys did for me, is you taught me how to navigate where, I have to watch what I say. I need to be mindful. I can't just do what I think all the time. And that it really taught me so much.
Now, so cool. Why don't we do a reality show in the least?
No, I gotta say something to Christina. Christina, you were born leader. You know that, right? Now you know that.
Sorry.
You're a leader. Listen, you lead, right? Sometimes, we had like overthinking and all this one little thing that we broke down to 10 little items that to me, I'm like, I'm out of here, man. But that's what girls do. They analyze, and I learned how to do it. I was like, I don't really want to get into it. But listen, you led us. I mean, we all work together, but you were like, and I see you right now with your business, and always very infatuated with creams and massage on the face. Remember that? And to see you follow your dream and making it a very successful business, it's an inspiration, you guys. So from every little bit of thing that we, I guess, soaked growing together, working together, I think we all became, something of us right now is because what we did together. We were able to listen, we were able to adopt, and we were able to learn and grow.
Oh my God, wouldn't it suck if we actually got the chance of a second rebirth of this, and then I got recast? Like, you recast me for Victoria Beckham or something, I'd be so mad.
Oh my God.
Andy, you are the same person. You are. All of you guys, it's crazy. You're always coming up with this random jokes. Wouldn't it be funny?
I love it.
Wouldn't it be horrible?
Honestly, we've kept in touch. I think Tal has as well with Derek Bramble. Those 2 songs that were unreleased. Why don't we just work on those? It's already out there. Just put it out. It didn't come out in the United States. Just put it out. It's his song.
And I'm an old
Listen, I was not a singer back then. I'm not a singer right now. But I'm not
The vocals are there. They're there. You just got to get it out. It's one of the hardest songs, but it is comparable.
Not everybody does it. Yeah, tell me in.
You just need to stand there and do what you do. And you stand.
That's it, Gabby.
And you go like this. Listen, everybody. Listen. Do this. Moving on. That's Gabby.
She's such a boss.
She's like, lose weight. Go.
Andy, no, really. Think about the girl groups out there. The girl groups out there, and you listen to the vocals. I shared the link to you guys on my drive. Listen to the vocals on "I Just Wanted You to Know" and "Heart of My Heart" specifically. You will hear all of the different tones. When you hear it, it's all different. Try to compare that with other girl bands out there singing like that.
No
attitude.
Anyone
that can sing like that.
Okay.
Hey,
no one.
Bitches, we're like the girl band in their 50s.
Totally.
The 50s now.
Oh,
Remember Joey's
Don't look like
Joey's
that,
dad?
girl.
Joey's dad had
A
a
doo-wop
band,
band.
and they
A
were
doo-wop
called
band.
the Not Two Boy Band.
Yeah.
Not
That's-
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Gabby, whatever happened to the kid with the pig that you were dating from the pop group?
Ricky.
He was gonna get married.
He was
The
so
kid,
good.
They had a
what's his
wedding.
name?
Ricky.
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 Nose job.
Ricky. But he is
He's
now
gay.
very openly
Yeah,
bisexual.
I keep in touch
He's
with him. He's
bisexual?
cool.
He's a they. He's a they.
He's a they. Right.
He's a they, yeah.
Gabby, I
He
think I
has
told
a song that is called
Mail tomorrow.
Boys, and Some Girls Too. Or
course.
Sometimes Girls.
Yeah,
So,
we told you
like,
that.
I just want to put it out there, Mariel. Technically, I did date Danny
So
O'Donoghue.
that,
The
you know,
girls will
that
attest to
sums
that.
it up.
I'll spill the tea. I dated Danny O'Donoghue for 2 months.
Who's that?
Danny O'Donoghue. I did 2 months. Tallest guy I ever dated. 6'5".
Oh my God, that's right from the script.
I remember that.
I dated him. Yep. 2 months.
On the tour.
Then immigration, and then he had to go back to Dublin, Ireland. He wasn't a citizen, so whatever.
Oh, damn.
Girls,
Game.
we have I would love to keep this going for hours, but I just wanted to tell you that we have people here from Israel, from Colombia, from Brazil, the US, obviously. We have people from all over the world. We have a lot of messages for you guys. They want a reunion. They want to tell you that you guys are great, that some of them were at your shows. Michelina says, I was there with,
Michelina.
I love her.
but she was at the Jones Beach concert.
We love you, girl.
Jesse Almodovar, who was something with you, with
Dancer.
Ella Song.
Yes,
Yes.
he danced for Alpha.
Yes, and well, a lot of fans that from New York too. So just to let you know that you guys are very loved, and I want to thank you so much for actually
Thank
giving me
you.
the opportunity to get you guys united again and talk to you about those great old tough days. I would really love to see you guys together again. It would be a pleasure, and if you ever do a concert, I would be there from all the way from Mexico City.
That's so cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mariel. Like, I'm very impressed that your English is amazing. I don't know the story behind it, and thank you so much for putting us together. This was like something we all wanted, but we just never got to, we just never got organized. Our lives are just, all over the place, and I'm so grateful that today it happened. And one thing that I want to let you guys know is, I want to put out there for everyone watching us and for us, is that I don't think that we missed anything. I think that what we did was the best in that moment, because it prepared us for who we are right now. And then in that moment, I mean, think about it. It couldn't have been any other way. It couldn't have been better, because whoever made it better than us was before us. And we rode the wave down of pop. So I think we had a really amazing time, and it prepared us for who we are right now. But also, I don't think this is gonna end. I don't think this is this five group is magical, and I think it's just gonna look like something else. But I think that definitely there will be something, because as you said, Christina, as you said, Andy, when we got together, it was just like magic. And that's like once in a lifetime.
They called us lightning in a bottle at the time, yes.
Yeah, they did.
Still is. I've only had it a few times in my life, and this was the first one.
Oh,
I love you guys, and I
love you guys.
Our biggest cheerleaders. So Tal, let's see.
I kind of like you guys. I like you. I'm not gonna go to say I love you.
I'll deal with you. We're all grown women. You got so many stories that we have to tell.
Yeah. I just remember I have so many stories. Oh my God.
No.
Aaliyah.
PG, keep it PG.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I have like a whole set in comedy about you guys. A
Thank
whole
you
set.
to all the viewers.
I'm gonna do a whole
guys, for
special
taking
about
the
this.
time.
Thank you for bringing this to us. Thank you for giving us great memories with your music. I will always cherish you.
Oh, Mariel, thank you. You really
You
pulled
rock,
off
girl.
a miracle here. And ladies, don't be strangers. House
No,
tinsel.
actually, listen, because we all have to go, but definitely let's meet next week. Let's put a schedule in this
Zoom.
message, okay? That's it. Let's
I'm
do
gonna give
it
you guys my email. We'll
on
Zoom it
Zoom.
for sure.
Just do it. Andy
Yes,
and I
do
are
it.
3 hours ahead, so you guys just let us know, and I'll make it happen. I know Andy will, so let's just make it happen. There's no excuse anymore. Here we
Yalla,
are.
yalla. Let's do it. Let's make it happen, guys.
Yes,
Yes,
let's
Hey,
do it.
I've lost
Anytime.
weight. I've lost weight now. I don't feel like I can't be on camera. So listen, let's get it on while I've lost weight. You know, I'm going to be 50
You
here. in a
guys
couple
look great.
Let's
What are
do
you
it.
talking about, Lost Weight? You look so good. Andy, oh my God, let me see your hair. It's
Gorgeous.
so beautiful.
Mariel, you're amazing.
Beautiful.
Mariel, you
Yeah.
pulled this off.
Okay.
Starving. I haven't eaten for
Andy, I want to see you. I seriously want to see you dance.
I want to see you both dance.
Gabby,
I'm all over that. Yeah, like I'm always dancing, but like Andy, I haven't seen you dance.
Oh, yeah, she dances.
Oh, is that a battle? Are you calling her for a battle? What the
I
hell?
want to see it, girl. I
Let's
want to
do
see
a
you both
duet.
dance. Honestly, I already have a vision with the songs that we have with you girls dancing. Honestly, with like lyrical, but yours Spanish style and her like classical ballet style for our music video. Oh my God,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah, just
Do
don't
it.
ask me to drop it anymore. My knee is all effed up. I have to go to an orthopedic surgeon. There's time.
You're
I
an
can
amazing
know it.
dancer. I remember that.
I can
Andy,
drop it like a pot, but then I can't
Andy,
get
I
back.
don't know how to count. Remember, Andy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I remember that Tal wanted to be black all
And
the
I
time.
looked at
They
you,
were
what do
like,
you
"You're not
want?"
black."
Oh,
They
no.
were great.
Fatima, our choreographer was like, this girl looks black, but she ain't black. And I'm like, no,
I was the whitest
But
cracker.
they had her try to represent everybody by putting her in Native American clothes and then braids to represent all of Africa. And I'm like,
and then come out and go, hey! Like,
and then they're gonna put a Buddha. They're gonna put a Buddha on my dress in a photo shoot.
put me in a
And I'm a Filipino Catholic. I don't understand the Buddha.
now.
My
Listen,
God.
I look like Brett
Bitches,
Michaels.
I gotta go. I gotta
Bitches.
teach.
Now we gotta go. All right.
Thank you
Love
so much, guys.
Yeah,
Love
Thank
you.
you
everybody
Bye.
watching.
Thank you,
Guys,
guys.
Love
follow
you.
us on Instagram and social media everywhere. Please.
Make it happen.
Add Jill and Kate Macalino. Add Steve Stratton. Add Tal B. Vincent. Add Gabrielle Eckes.
Yes.
Add Andy McCormick.
Andy.
The video will be available on Sunday.
Perfect.
Muchas gracias, Mariel.
Mariel.
Muchas gracias.
Bye.
Gracias.
I love you guys.
Now, Gabby.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. Love you.